A lot of us have been thinking, what could be the spark that lights the fuse? To be fair, nobody knows the answer. But why are we thinking about this? Why this thought has crossed so many of our minds? Because things are not normal. Nobody was thinking this back in 2005. So what's changed? Why more and more of us are thinking along those lines? Why do we think that the whole of the West is falling into civil unrest and chaos? And there is no better candidate than the United Kingdom. Why am I telling you this? So obviously you guys know Henry Noak, a white young man, was killed by a Sikh man. Now, let me say that again because things are actually heating up, and I am critical of the way how some Sikh community members have responded, but their behavior is much better than the behavior of some other community members, some other communities, for example. They have wholeheartedly condemned Vikram Digwa, the murderer of Henry Noak, but at the same time, they feel and they're complaining about being collectively blamed when that is actually not the case. And that's why I've been urging them not to go down the same route that Muslims have gone in the past. You know, it is understandable for the natives of Britain, France, Germany, Canada, Australia. It's going to happen everywhere, by the way. It is simultaneously happening everywhere. This is the reason why everyone is thinking, why are we headed towards civil unrest? So read the room, guys. Read the room. Everyone believes, I believe wholeheartedly, and I tweeted this yesterday, that we understand that Sikhs are underrepresented when it comes to crime. Have a look at this. Sikhs make up nearly 1% of the population, according to the 2021 census, yet they only make up 0.6% of the prison population in England and Wales, I think this is. So no one is saying that Sikhs are criminal, although some people in Canada are saying, Canadian stats are totally upside down for some reason. But let's just stick to the UK. Sikhs have done well. Sikhs have been a good part of the UK. They've been a model minority. But the UK is headed towards a stage where they're going to dismantle all special privileges, all special classes. There's going to be no protected class, one law for all British citizens. So if you want to be treated as a normal British citizen, then you have to come under the bracket of the normal English law. That's what everyone is saying. No special privileges. But for some reason, they're acting out. But I'm telling you, this is not the right reading of the room. Whether you like it or not, special privileges will be taken away from you. Doesn't matter who you are. And I feel for the Sikh community because this is one major incident committed by them, and all of a sudden they're under a microscope. Well, they have to be. If a Hindu does something, who are even lower on this on the prison population list. Look at this. Hindus make up 1.7% of the population, yet they only make up 0.4%. They're 3 times underrepresented. Muslims, on the other hand, are 3 times overrepresented. And all the problems, most of the problems that we see in the West, I'm sorry to say, are caused by people who follow Islam. Not all of them, but, statistically speaking. So an average British person, he doesn't care whether whether that guy with the beard is a Muslim or that guy with the beard is a Sikh. They don't care about that. They've had enough. So I urge the Sikh community to voluntarily give up their kirpan. Say, yes, you know what? We understand. The world is changing around us. The age of special privileges is over. But no. Sikh MPs have written this long-ass letter. To be fair, they're not defending the family. They're condemning the act. And they're showing full support and solidarity with Henry Noak's family, okay? However, they're also concerned about being collectively blamed. Again, this is the wrong reading of the room. No one is blaming the Sikh community for the action of one. The demand is to ban the kirpan. But look at this, all these, at a time when emotions are understandably raw, we urge people not to allow the actions of one murderer to divide communities or fuel hostility towards innocent people. The Sikh community shares the grief, shock, and anger felt across the country. We mourn Henry Noak. This is a good letter, better than the Sikh Council's letter. But this guy, Jas Athwal, who posted it, he has something to say here. Let's have a listen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I am deeply saddened by the murder of Henry Noak, and my heartfelt condolences to his family, whose pain was made all the worse by the police wrongly handcuffing Henry, believing the lies of the violent murderer. And that stripped Henry of his dignity in his agonizing final moments, something which should never happen again.
You have to acknowledge the difference, guys. Tens of thousands of British girls, if not hundreds of thousands of British girls, were raped, groomed, their lives were destroyed by British Pakistani Muslim gangs. But I don't think I've ever seen any Muslim MP showing solidarity with those girls like this before. They always complain about being the victims. So this is very different. It's so far so good. But Sikhs have to understand, do not make this about yourself. Do not make this about yourself. There are so many countries, Western countries, Gulf countries, where they don't allow you to carry a kirpan. Why do you still go there? Why do you still live there? Why do you still work there? This was allowed in the UK under special circumstances when the UK felt that it's okay. They found that tolerance in them. But now that tolerance is running out for obvious reasons. Not necessarily because of you. This could be the final straw that broke the camel's back. But I can assure you this strategy is not going to work. The old days of appeasement are gone, whether you like it or not. So if you want to be a part of British society, you have to go with the majority of British society. But they're saying that one law for everyone, no special privileges.
But also, Mr. Speaker, what's very galling is that the likes of Reform, Restore, and the far right decided to politicize people's pain, attacking the Sikh community for wearing the kirpan and wanting it banned, even though the kirpan was not used in this violent attack. And they've decided to scapegoat and throw under the bus an entire community based on the actions of one violent murderer. And
that's a terrible one. Again, are they purposefully refusing to understand the argument? The argument is no special privileges for anyone. Why don't we allow people to carry guns? Because not everyone's going to shoot people. That's the logic in America, apparently. Not everyone shoots people. If you actually legalize it, if you let people wear it, then, very few people are going to use that, but most people are not going to use that. That's not the argument. The argument is if one set of people are not allowed to carry a weapon, then neither should you.
Also give them a history.
You're meant to be going through the chair, not across the chamber.
Let it not be said that we see them and we will stand up to them. And let me also give a short history lesson. Hundreds of thousands of Sikh soldiers bravely fought alongside British soldiers.
Thank you very much. That's understandable. That's okay. So a lot of white British people also, actually, most people who fought in World War II for Britain were white British people. So they should be allowed to carry guns as well? Like, that's a non sequitur. It doesn't mean anything.
During both world wars, tens of thousands made the ultimate sacrifice, proudly wearing their turban and their kirpan.
Yeah, in a war zone, you're allowed, it's okay for you to wear a kirpan.
So what reassurances can my right honourable friend, the Home Secretary, give to the Sikh community, which is both horrified and ashamed at this brutal murder, and they are fearful of their right to freely and peacefully practice their faith?
Practice their faith by carrying a knife, okay? So Shabana Mahmood, we expect nothing better from her. Let's have a listen to her response.
In relation to knife controls, there have been calls to limit the right of Sikhs to carry their ceremonial knife, the kirpan, one of the 5 holy items in their faith. The Offensive Weapons Act of 2019, passed under the previous government, clarified...
The Tories passed that. The Tories. So again, this is not something that's been there for ages. It only happened in 2019.
...and strengthened...
So why were they living in the UK without the kirpan before 2019?
...existing legal protections in relation to long kirpans. This included extending defences so that kirpans can be lawfully possessed for religious reasons and used in religious and ceremonial contexts. But let me be clear, carrying a knife for the purpose of religious observance is one thing. Using it, as so tragically occurred in this case, is quite another. It is a vile act, a crime of the utmost severity, and it will be met with the severest punishment.
Well, again, it's Labour. They're not known for reading the room, as reflected by their recent polling data. But let me show you something. These are all the countries that have banned the kirpan. Denmark, France, Italy, Sweden. In India, they're allowed for subject to size and security restrictions. So India, the UK, Canada, Australia, US. It's always the Anglo countries. They, apart from India, which is an ancestral country, it's always the Anglo countries that wants to go above and beyond. But look at this. Countries where carrying a kirpan is effectively restricted or prohibited under weapons law. Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, Oman, they all go there. Sikhs go and live there. This is not against Sikhs. Sikhs have to understand one thing. Please understand. The world is changing around you. Either you join forces with the growing right wing or the conservative movement, or be left behind, or stick stick to these far left wokies. Their numbers are dwindling. They're not going to be setting the rules of the game in the future. That's not going to happen. So that's pretty poor on behalf of the Sikh community. And things are heating up in Southampton. I'll make another video on that. Things are actually heating up. I'm not sure. I'm not saying that this is going to the proverbial fuse and things are going to change. I don't know, because nobody knows. But these things are certainly heading in that direction.